Good morning, everybody. This is Richard Ramirez at East Rosebud Fly Shop in Billings, Montana. We are coming to you not live from East Rosebud Studios. I have got my superb and just wonderful friend Brandon Booty co-host with me this morning. How are you?
I'm good. What's up, everyone? Thanks for listening again.
And again, and I got to say, haven't reported this, I think, for a podcast or two, but closing the end of December, our listenership actually grew to 13. So
that's a big jump.
That's a big fucking jump. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but maybe it was, what do you think, the holidays and people not working and not having anything else whatsoever in their lives to do but listen to this.
That's probably exactly what it was. Yeah, they had some free time.
Free time. Yeah, that's a boring time. Yes. Kidding. We're better than that. So, and I also want to, talking about our listenership and the folks out there that are good customers and friends of mine and the shop, I've gotten a couple of nice compliments about what we're doing.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take that. These are good folk too. So thank you very much. What's new? I'm going to the Bahamas on Saturday.
That's gonna be gonna be awesome. I'm jealous of you.
You should be. It's our annual Long Island Bahamas hosted trip, and this is one of my favorite trips of the year, just because fishing Long Island for bonefish is like an elegant dance. Ballroom shit.
Okay.
Yeah. 40s and 50s, that kind of crap.
Classy.
Right? What's that?
Classy,
like, thigh-high nylon classy.
Yeah, that's classy. Yeah.
Well, that's all they wore back then. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. So we've got that coming up. That's a good full trip. There's 8 of us. 5 of the 8 have not been there before. So they don't even fucking know what's in store for them visually.
Yeah, is there anyone who hasn't fished a salt?
I would say out of those 5, I would say most of them have not. So they're total rookies. But so we'll report on that trip once we get back. In the meantime, I want to refer everybody, of course, to our website, www.eastrosebudflyandtackle.com. That is a straight up whorish advertisement, but we're doing this podcast, so folks, please come to our website and buy some shit. I've reported this before, but I'm getting absolutely screwed in a divorce settlement. So I really need the money.
Got to pay for it somehow.
I mean, I don't think we're going to be able to do it with this.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But anyway, so what I wanted to talk about today is something that's very interesting to me, and it's a new aspect of a technique that we talked about a few weeks ago called Euro nymphing. Everybody knows about that shit now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got your Euro nymph rod yet, Booty?
I don't. Personally, I don't.
Okay. But there is straight up legit domestic and international competition in fly fishing.
And it's all Euro nymphing, right? That's all you can do, right?
Yeah, kind of. But or you're aware of the fact that there are fly fishing competitions that are judged, and they fucking matter.
Yeah. Is it? I thought it was. I didn't know it was in the U.S. I thought it was like an international thing.
No, I'm sure there's events, competitions, tournaments here in the U.S., but no doubt, though, the aspect of this that gets the biggest play is the international competition. And this is literally where folks go to compete. How they get chosen or determined, I really don't know. I have a very good friend, both a man and a woman, who are outfitters and guides in this area of Montana. And, the gal in this equation, who is a super sharp and as good of a guide as an angler as it gets, she competes internationally in these competitions.
Oh, that's awesome.
Fuck.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, Norway and shit. So, they fucking, go everywhere. So it's really legit, and it to a certain segment of our sport, and which I'm not part of, but to a certain segment in our sport, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
No, it's like the Masters. I'm going to fish in Slovenia at the blah 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 blah. You know, I mean, it's a big fucking deal to people. So to me, I break it down more. Is it right?
The first thing that comes to my mind is how are they recording like points and stuff?
I'm going to get into that with no education at all. Okay, and so I'm going to also throw this disclaimer out there. All of you Euro guys and gals out there, hey, we're just having fun here. So we know the shit fucking works. You're great at it, but in these competitions, it was kind of like you were saying. The technique, I believe, has got to be 80-90% Euro nymphing, right?
Yeah,
in these competitions. I did a little bit of research, and I really want to stress the little bit part. Okay. So when these people get to these competitions, these fly fishing competitions, they're assigned anywhere between a 50 and a 300 yard beat of creek. The little bit I've seen, it's small to medium sized water, and they get assigned that. There's a judge on site, which I think is legit. There's a couple of tournaments out here that are kind of a big thing, mostly like carp and different stuff, and it's all, you know, the honor system. I caught these many carp, and they taped out at blah, 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 and, I think about that and just the way my brain works. Fuck that.
Yeah. You can't trust people.
Oh, did you see those cocksuckers at that walleyes tournament that fucking put those ball weights in the bellies of these weighed fish?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So I ain't believing no guy on how many carp he caught. That's right. I'm sorry. I want to judge. So I like the fact that these beats that are assigned to these competitors to fish have got a judge on site. And then they get, I don't know, maybe, I just don't know the duration, but it could be between 30 minutes and 2 hours or something like that to fish this beat with a judge. And some of the equipment rules are interesting, because this really tells you it's a Euro game. Because you cannot have a fly rod longer than 12 feet. So 12 feet, I
didn't know they made fly rods longer than 12 feet.
Well, dude, when it comes to Euro nymphing, it's probably a fucking 12 foot one weight, or something ridiculous like that. But that's the rod rule. And this is even more interesting to me. The leader length cannot exceed double the rod length. So they would have that leader length limitation for a reason. And that reason is that they're fucking high sticking Euro setups. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So no longer than a 12-foot rod. And obviously, there's probably plenty of these competitors that are fishing 9 to 10 footers, not the 10 and a half, 11 footers that are a common Euro rod. I don't know. You got to remember, I don't know anything about this, but we're still talking about it. So no more than double the rod length in your leader. Nothing attached to the leader. So this 12, 15, 18-foot Euro leader that this competitor's fishing with, he or she can't have no indicator, no bobbers.
No weight.
No weight. And so those are just kind of some of the more basic equipment rules. These anglers are then tweaking their flies, focusing on, of course, the heavily weighted Euro nymph jig, no barb type setup. And, it's a Euro nymphing competition. And there's a reason for that. Because nothing catches more fish. Nothing catches more trout.
How many bugs can they have on?
I would assume 2 to 3. I didn't see that. That's probably wherever this tournament is being held. I mean, you still have to come under fishing game laws if this competition is held there. So it's like in Montana you can have 2 flies on tippet, and in Wyoming, God bless Wyoming. I love Wyoming. Right? I mean, I do. It's my absolute 100% favorite redneck state.
How many redneck states are there?
I mean, got to be more than half. I don't know. But my point is, I love Wyoming. I mean that. I mean that. But Wyoming, you can have 3 flies. So I'm not even going to get into that. So I'm sure it's a multi-fly Euro nymph setup, of course. And those are some of the specifics. What's interesting to me about this is that I believe you get judged, and this is going to vary, but I believe you get judged on literally the number of fish you catch. The judge records the fish. I don't think they measure it. They might in some, but I don't think they do. And then you literally get like a point during your session, your 30-minute, hour, 2-hour session, if you catch the most fish with who you're competing with at other points on the river. So yeah, it's not that complicated, but it's just basically some dude or dudette sitting there catching fish. Some dude saying, okay, that's a rainbow trout, boom. Oh, that's a whitefish, boom. That's a, It was interesting though that I believe all fish count.
Whether it's a whitefish or a trout.
Sucker. Yeah. Every fish counts. And again, you competitors out there, don't get all fucking riled up. I'm sure there might be trout only type tournaments, but what I came across was, it all kind of counts.
What if they catch the same fish twice? How are they gonna know it's
what does that mean?
You catch a fish in a holding hole.
I don't think they care.
I don't think they care either. How are they gonna be able to tell either?
Fucking care. Yeah. But that was interesting, and that right there, that to me is the first red flag. That to me is the first red flag. The first red flag is that all fish species count. And that tells me right there that no. Because I don't think all fish species count. Do you?
Yeah, at least not equally, right? It's not a 1-to-1,
No, it's just kind of like, it just kind of gives credit to anything and everything, right? I mean, I fish for trout, and most of these competitions I've seen are for trout. And it just seems like, you get credit for the ugly girls you fucked.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I just, that's crass and that's crude, but that's how low the standard is, right? It's like, I'm in a great sucker spawn run here. I got really fucking lucky. Boom, sucker. And I'm probably putting a little bit too much emphasis on the species aspect of some of these competitions, but I do realize that you don't necessarily know what you're going to catch. I mean, even if you're getting a lot of hookups. I mean, I fish a local fishery here, and if I was beadhead nymph fishing, I'd be the fucking king of mountain whitefish. Fucking king.
Yeah.
But I don't go home thinking, God, I caught 42. I mean, 29 of them were fucking whitefish in the same run. But that's a little bit of a turn off for me that it's not species specific, and there might be some of these tournaments that are, but that number one. And number two, the bigger question on these tournaments, and really just the fact that the sport has gone there, is, why did you start fishing? I mean, at the end of the day, all of us ask yourself that. Why did you start fishing? Did you start fishing because dad or grandpa showed you? Did you start fishing because of a river runs through? Did you start fishing out of boredom or evolution as an angler? I'm a worm guy, I'm a lure guy, now I'm gonna fucking be a fly guy. I mean, that's how I was.
That's how I started, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what got you into fishing? And if you're avid and you're advanced, to me, it's all state of mind and emotion. Is that too heavy for you, motherfucker?
No, I'm just thinking, like, you think of every other every other fishing contest. It's never by how many. It's
just more that I think that fishing kind of takes a person really to a place that is, it's big time. I'm not going to get that playing fucking pickleball, and I'm not going to get that playing competitive ball at the Y. I mean, myself personally, and just the way my mind works and how much I work and all that, I just really, fly fishing for me is straight up fucking therapy.
Yeah, for me too.
It's therapy. I
fucking feel better. Like, you're on. I know when I'm like, I gotta go fishing.
Yeah, it's like it's like P word. If you go extended periods without P word, you start to get fucking jittery.
Yep.
Jittery, and angling has the same effect on me as P word, and so that's why for me personally, it means a lot. So the question is, do you turn that into a competition?
I think you lose something, some of the beauty when you do that.
That's kind of where I'm getting at. It's like, there's no doubt, I'm a good fly fisherman. I'm not a great fly fisherman, but I love it, and I'm always trying to get better after 2.5 decades of doing it. But I think that these tournaments they've got an air of exploitation in them. Because here's the thing. When it comes to something that fulfills what I just described in me, that's something that somebody can do from their early teens all the way until they're fucking 80.
Yeah.
Think of that. That's what fly fishing gives somebody in terms of longevity. You're not fucking wade fishing the Gallatin at fucking 80 easy, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
And it means something different to everybody that casts a fly rod with some consistency. I get that. But it does seem to be a little bit, when you turn it into competition, you turn it into something polar opposite of what I describe for me. And that's okay. Like I said, means something different to everybody. But that would be the number one thing. And then the number two thing, which comes into catch any and as many fish as you can. Without a discerning species per se, or without it necessarily being, there's a competition in Wyoming called the One Fly Competition. You ever heard of this shit?
I haven't.
Oh fuck, there's a bunch of them now, I'm sure. But in Wyoming, you start your day, I believe, with one fly, and that's the only fly you can fish the entire day, including, I believe, that specific fly. So if you break off, right, boom, your day's over. And this is, I think, judged, or at least it's a you win that shit, you're getting some fucking swag. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
The one fly. Yeah, fuck yeah. I've never, I don't know, but it's legit. It's out there, and that competition to me, I'll give it more credibility than I will some of these international stream competitions, because they actually take the model of turning that emotion, that recreation, that love, that sport we all dig. They flip that, right? And they make the competition fucking hard. One fly.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a little different than the primary competitions I'm talking about. Their model is use any technique available in the sport to rack up fish. And that right there to me is, I'm just not feeling that. You make that motherfucker a dry fly tournament or something, and I'm not begging on any nymphers here. That shit works better than fucking anything. You make that a single fucking dry fly tournament.
Well, with how they have it, whoever gets the best location is probably gonna win.
They probably get to fish all the same runs at different days or something. Okay. I'm not saying it, and I'm not saying it's not fair, but I'm just making the point. You've got that. That easiness in terms of the technique. You get it?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, we're going to take basketball now. Instead of a step and a half, we're going to let these motherfuckers step, 3 steps before they have to pass or dribble the ball. To me, it's just easy. So anyway, we'll continue to break it on down. That's the end of part 1, East Rosebud fly fishing competitions.